Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'll be going over some ships that I'm looking to sell. This is for the continental United States only, and I can only do free shipping for orders over 75 bucks. If you're interested in anything you see in this video, either DM me on Discord or reach out to my email in the pinned comment down below. Now I do have some price estimates up on screen, and they're also posted in my Discord. I am open to negotiate, especially if you're buying multiple ships. And for the presentation here, I'll be starting with the smaller ships, and then I'll go over the STO models, then the medium, and the XLs. Chapters to each section are listed down below. And starting with the smaller ship models, the boxes I have here are 16 by 10 by 6 inches. And what that means is that per each of these boxes, I can fit several of these smaller ship models. If you only want one, I'm pretty sure I can find a smaller box somewhere around here, but I really do prefer for these smaller ships to be selling multiple of them per order, or one of these alongside like a medium or XL size model would fit perfectly in this box. But diving into the models here, the first one is the Dollar ship. I have no idea where this is from, but someone out there is probably looking for that. Next up is going to be the Alice. And for these smaller models, they're about 4 to 5 inches on average. So this is a Tholian fighter with some yellow engines in there. Hopefully the light's not screwing with it too much. Then we have the Zindi, was this insectoid? Yeah, so this is the Olane in STO. This is a ship that I know some of you used to fly back in the day. Not quite as good nowadays, but it's still capable. Then we have a Vidian warship from Voyager. Then we have, I forget what this is, Lucrim fighter or something. Then we have the Academy trainer. The Bomar patrol ship. And then we have the Breen warship here. This is the, the Chelbulg or Chelgretten Stow. This is a ship that I really enjoyed. This was like the first winter ship that I went out and got, I believe, back in the day. Then we have the Antares. We got a Decora there, a Ferengi Marauder. In fact, I believe there is 2 of those. So we have a Vodwar fighter here. So this is a, I believe, a playable fighter, or like shuttle that you can get in the Lobby store, I believe. Then we got a little Klingon augment ship here. Romulan shuttle. The Promillion. This ship finally dropped in STO earlier this year as a lockbox ship, and it was unfortunately a bit of a flop, but it's still an interesting design. Then we've got this thing. This is the Tin Man. I know when I was first doing the unboxing, there were some comments about the shape of that. Then we have the other Ferengi Marauder that I have. And this is a Klingon transport. And next up is the Tellarite ship. So we do have this in game, I believe. It's like part of the bundle that has the Suliban Silic, if I recall. And we have the Klingon D5. Merchantman. This was an event ship not too terribly long ago. Got a Kazon Raider here. Then we got the Nightingale. I don't remember where this one's from, but it looks like a little Federation fighter. Then we have the Vulcan Apollo. That looks like something from like TOS. And what is this? It is a tug. So little Federation tug. And then I do have some of the fancier, smaller models too. So I've got a Klingon Bird of Prey. And I also have the Bird of Prey in the landed position. So they do have a few different variants of that ship. And the last for the standard here is going to be the Enterprise C. So this one, there's a very slight lean in the left nacelle. Like it leans towards the ship just a smidge, but I mean, you have this out on like a shelf, you're not going to notice that. So that is the standard line of ships that I have. Now let's head on over to the next section. And next up is the Star Trek Online Eagle Moss crossover models. So these are all based off of Star Trek Online designs, and they are going to be the smaller ship model format. So the first here is the Jemadar Vanguard carrier. And unfortunately, the higher I get these ships, the closer to the camera, the more the lighting screws with them. So the models here are going to be accurate to what you'd see if you were looking at these in the Zen store. Then we have the Romulan Alal, which is another Zen store ship from way back in Delta Rising, I believe. Same for the Mata here. This is one of the Klingon ships we got with Delta Rising. Yeah, the lighting is brutal on this one. Then down here, we've got the Kittimer, which is a former anniversary event ship that is now only available in the Muds bundle, which is still really quite disappointing. I actually don't believe I have this ship in game because I just missed a couple days of the event and didn't do the buyout, and I did not want to do the Muds bundle. Then we have the Chimera. This is the lifetime subscriber ship for Feds in game. And lastly, the Enterprise F, the refit model. And all these models here that I'm showing today, these have at most been out of the box for a minute or two just to look at them. I just haven't had room to actually go out and display these, so they've just sat in their box for over the past year. So they're all going to be in really good condition, but the boxes might be a bit dusty. And as I head into the medium and XL models, I will be opening up all the boxes just to show you that everything is there, nothing's broken. And most of these do not have a magazine, but the first one here, the Enterprise from the Kelvinverse movie Star Trek Beyond, it does have a magazine. However, as you can see, it is in German, so just be aware of that. Now for the models here, they have a flap on the front, then they'll open up. Then you have foam, and basically every time you open these boxes, you're going to have some foam come out. Just lift that up, and here's the model. So with the Eagle Moss stuff, it's always really good design. You can see there's some transparent materials there in the deflector and the nacelles. So really good quality. And you of course have your stand, the base and the plastic part that connects to the ship. And the next medium ship here is going to be the USS Kelvin from the first Star Trek Kelvinverse movie in 2009. Let's open that up. Again, really good build quality. You can see the transparent material there on that deflector again. And there's some clear plastic there in that bottom nacelle. For all of these ships, there are videos that go over the visuals of them up close on YouTube if you want to look at any of the models closer. And the next medium model is the Sona Collector from Star Trek Insurrection. This does have the magazine with it. So this is a model that I actually really like in-game, especially with the the feature set they gave it in game, where it's got these sails that can go out like we saw in the movie, and that's got some neat stuff going on with it. But unfortunately, the stats of the in-game ship are not really that impressive. It's got like an ensign temporal, which is just really disappointing on a science ship. So really neat design, bit of a letdown stats wise in game, but the model here, really good detail on it. And if you're a fan of Insurrection, it's a nice ship to have in your collection. Next up, we have the regular one station, and if I recall, this is what, Wrath of Khan? Isn't this the station that the Genesis device was being worked on at? I'm probably wrong, and someone's going to roast me in the comments below. But there we have it. We've got the station here. Definitely a bit top heavy, but really good detail. So if you're a fan of this station, this is a nice, highly detailed model to add to your collection. And then we have the Shenzhou from Star Trek Discovery. So this is the Walker in STO, I believe. But good detail there. I can't say I'm really a big fan of the model. I think I got this in the Master Replicas mystery box, but yeah, if you're a fan of this ship, then I think you're going to be happy with this. Next up is going to be the USS Excelsior from the Fan Home line. So this is the version that has the misprint on the very back of the ship. It's so small I can't even show you on the camera. But basically it says Excelsior instead of Excelsior, and because of that, anyone that got this from the subscription is going to be sent a replacement free of charge later next year, myself included. So I'm going to be selling off the version here that has the misprint on the very back here. Like, even if I get this up close to the camera, you're probably not going to be able to see that. It's not going to focus on it. So it's incredibly small, but it is a misprint, and because of that, they're sending a replacement. So yeah, this is the what is this? The Excelsior 2 in STO. Very detailed model. Really, really detailed. So if you're a fan of the Excelsior line, and especially the Excelsior 2, I think that this is a model that you'd be very happy to have in your collection. And the final medium is going to be the USS Titan, also from Star Trek Picard and from the Phantom Collection. So this is also known as the Luna class, I believe. We've got a magazine in here, of course. All the Fan Home ships come with a magazine. And really good detail on this too. Bit bigger than that Excelsior 2 I just showed before, which is a really thin ship, but this is really good detail. And again, this is still the medium size format, so it's around 7 to 8 inches long. Still using the transparent materials like Eagle Moss was doing before. So yeah, really good detail here. Another ship that I think many of you would be happy to have in your collection. And the final category is just a couple of the XL size models. So I've got the Discovery, Defiant, and Bird of Prey. I will have more medium and large models that I'm selling in the future, but for today, these are the three I'm going to focus on. So I have a Discovery XL here. I thought I'd sold all these off, but I was digging through boxes earlier and apparently still have one. So if you're a fan of Discovery, this is a really good quality model of the crossfield here. So it's a bit beefy. There's a lot of metal here. Just really good detail all around. So yeah, if you're a fan of Discovery, definitely a nice model to have on hand. And next up is the Klingon Bird of Prey. So these XL size models tend to be typically around like 10 inches in some dimension, but sometimes they're not quite there. But this is much larger than the smaller Bird of Preys I was showing before. The wings are almost all metal, The cannons up here, those are a plastic, but the wings here, that's a nice metal, and they're textured. You can see the different colors in there. Flipping this over, there's some of the foam that's stuck onto the ship here. Basically, every time you take one of these ships out of a box that has this sort of foam, you're going to get some foam out with it. So you'll just have to blow that off before you put it on a shelf. But yeah, really, really good detail. If you're a Klingon fan, this is a model that I'd very much recommend you have in your collection. And the final XL and the final ship for this video is the USS Defiant. This does have the magazine with it. And it's just a bit laughable how large this is compared to some of the other models out there. So the top of the body is metal, and then the side nacelles are plastic along with this front bit. And the bottom of the ship here is also plastic. But it's really good detail. With this being a smaller ship in the show, them having such a large model of it allowed them to really show every last bit of detail that this ship has. So really, really good. Just really good build quality here. Looks really good, feels good. Yeah, I think if you're a fan of Deep Space Nine, this is definitely a ship to have in the collection. And that wraps up this showcase. So if you're interested in any of these ships, again, reach out to me on either Discord or via my business email, which is in the pinned comment down below. But that is going to be it for today. So as always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you all around.